off by car, as we're not going to be able to do waterfront check-ins this year. And then pickup for LITs is the same time as just all the rest of the campers. So that'll be on the last Saturday of your session in the 10 to 11 timeframe. Also, just kind of talking about what you can expect as far as schedule and your experience when you're an LIT with us at camp this summer. So for 1 week, every single LIT is going to be a part of the leadership rotation. So that is going to be some time spent in the dining hall, helping with serving the meals and helping with cleanup there. And I'll be honest, it's going to be a lot, but the experience of being in that group all together is something that's just really special. Just, working alongside other people in that way and being responsible for something that's so important. It's really just a great opportunity to build relationships. So you'll be doing that, and then doing leadership class during the day is going to be a part of that experience as well. And then for the other week, you're going to be assigned to a cabin with campers. So in that week where we're keeping groups of campers together in cohorts, you're going to be spending a lot of time with that cabin, just assisting the counselors in that cabin throughout the day, which again, that'll be a really cool experience because of the way we're having to stay together in cohorts. I mean, that's really a lot of time that you're going to get to have to really building relationships with those campers and getting to know the staff, and really shadowing them and just seeing what it means to be a leader at camp. Also wanted to go over things to bring. So we're going to ask you to bring a plain royal blue shirt. We're going to ask you to bring khaki shorts, a belt, and tennis shoes. It's going to be part of your opening day attire. We're also going to ask you to bring a face covering, that not to be worn at all times, but to be worn during check-in. We're also going to ask you to bring a watch, and we're also going to ask you to bring an alarm clock as well. And I'm going to turn it over to Drew to talk a little bit more about just LIT responsibilities. And I also will say on Zoom at the bottom of the screen, you have the chat. And when this is over, we are going to take questions. So if you do have any questions, I think that the best way to take those would be if you would just put those in the chat, and we'll monitor it and answer some questions at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Drew, who is the Executive Director at Camp High Harbor at Lake Allatoona.
Excellent. Thank you, Ethan. I get to have the fun conversation about cleaning. We all want to talk about cleaning, and there's lots of questions about cleaning, so I hope to answer a lot of those questions. And the first question is, sometimes is, why do we clean at camp? And I'm hoping that's the same reason you clean at your house. When you have 2 or 3 or 4 or more people in your house, it can get dirty pretty quickly. Now imagine having 300 to 500 people at your home and how dirty that could get. So that's why from a very early age at camp, we teach the skill of cleaning as an independent skill for all of our campers, leaders, and staff. That's why even our youngest campers are making their beds every day, learning life skills that they can take with them throughout life. And as they move on to ALA as an ALC or LIT, we have this creed, and the creed is 10 lines, and it's not something we just want the LITs and ALCs to memorize, it's what we want to live by. And one of those lines is, I will put things back. We start thinking about, hey, if we take something out, we put it back. And how do we clean up after ourselves, and how do we clean up after each other? And even though cleaning is a small part of the leadership program, it's an integral part of servant leadership. And so what will cleaning look like when your LIT is at camp? Well, first and foremost, it's important to remember that your LIT is not a staff member. They are still technically a camper. So they will not have staff responsibilities. They will have camper and leadership responsibilities. So what does that mean? That means that they're never alone with kids. They're never teaching kids without a staff member being around. As far as cleaning goes, that means that they're not cleaning bathrooms. Bathrooms is a staff responsibility, and our staff will clean the bathrooms. But it will mean that they will be helping out in other areas, whether it's taking out the trash or sweeping floors, mopping floors. And if they don't know how to do these things, we're going to teach them, so when they come home, they'll be able to do these as well. Any chemicals they use will be basic household chemicals, such as disinfectant sprays, disinfectant wipes, things that may help go in the mop buckets. So very over-the-counter type, non-commercial grade cleaning products. Any cleaning products that's going to require commercial grade will either be done by our staff or a cleaning crew that we've hired to work camp on a consistent basis for us throughout the summer. So a lot of people think, oh, are they going to be using foggers and need masks? No, that's not a leadership responsibility. Helping to take the trash out after meals, absolutely, they'll be doing that kind of work. So I want to put your mind at ease that they are not going to be working with these heavy commercial grade chemicals. So I hope that answers a lot of the questions as far as why do we clean at camp, what will the LITs be doing, and then of course they will be with staff at all times as well. And we will teach them how to use these cleaning chemicals as well. And gloves will always be available. They've always have been, they always will be. So just so you know, that's nothing new during this pandemic for us. LITs cleaning and staff cleaning, that's something we've always done. So I see a lot of questions coming in on the screen down there, Ethan. If you're following those, if you want to start reading some of them off, and if you want to answer them, if you want me to answer them, I'd be happy to do that. I think you're on mute, Ethan.
Yeah, I'll try to run through some real quick. I've been trying to answer as we go, but it's a plain royal blue t-shirt. Does not have to have a collar. You may drop off another camper at 9 a.m. As well. For hair, gentlemen, we're going to ask you to come to camp with your haircut prior to camp. So that's off the back collar and above the eyes and ears as well.
Yeah, I love that.
To the question about the Why It Matters shirt, I have not seen that, but we can get back to you on that. Yes, cabin assignments. I was supposed to talk about that and I didn't. We're going to send out cabin assignments on the Monday before your session. So if you're coming 4 and 5, you'll get your cabin assignments next Monday.
I'll hop in here too, Ethan. Campers do not need to bring their own cleaning supplies. We'll supply everything that we need for the cabin and program areas. So another question about the COVID-19 test results takes more than 7 days. Make sure before you go anywhere you call. I've actually got my appointment tomorrow and they said they'll have it to us within 4 days. So I have heard some places do take longer than 7 to 10 days, especially to get in writing, but there's a lot of places that can do it in less than 7 days. So I think we put out links out there, Ken.
Yeah, let me add to that. So I've been on the phone today with CORE, C-O-R-E, and they are the ones doing the testing. Sonia, our marketing director, and my wife will be sending out to you, and all the staff and all the campers will be sending to you a hyperlink where we have the Isaacson Alpharetta YMCA. We're going to have as a testing site. And what they will do is you'll get this hyperlink and you have to use that hyperlink and you have to do an online registration. It'll give you a timestamp or a time slot for you to be able to go to Isaacson. Now, when I say this, that there for 6 Sundays, we are going to have this testing as a site. We're having them, and it's a drive up and it's a drive in and out in 5 minutes. So we are right in the middle of it right now. Sonia is going to end up sending that link out to you when this is 100% confirmed. We had the phone call today, and we got a few details to finish, but just be looking for from us information on that testing. We want to make it as easy as we can on you.
Thank you. And Ken, a lot of questions came up. This is not the antibodies test. This is for the active virus test.
This is, and yes, and the good thing is, what they've told us now is that they're getting, because it's online, the results and the confirmation back to the camper staff or parent is faster than it was. It was 4 to 7 days, and now it's a 2 to 4 day.
Perfect. And yes, so it would need to be within 7 days of getting tested of coming to camp. So if you're coming on a Sunday, the Sunday before is the first day that you would be able to get tested all the way leading up to camp. But again, remember, time is of the essence there. LITs bring backpacks. We would definitely recommend bringing backpacks. It's great to be able to keep that on you as you move around camp. For Leadership Week, it just depends on which location you're at. You might be in the leadership cabin, or you might be in a regular camper cabin serving in leadership that week. Because we're at 2 weeks now, we're working on the cabin assignments. I'm looking down. Ethan, what else am I missing? Yes, you do bring the paper that states that you are negative the day you come. So that will be, you'll hand deliver the new COVID waiver that's new to this year, and you will hand deliver your negative test when you check in on that morning of your session. People are saying if you're out of state, call your Department of Health. That's where our doctors are recommending. Contact your Department of Health, and they will let you know about different testing sites in your area. There's a question, if a camper is tested and they are positive, yes, we are issuing refunds for anybody that's unable to come to camp because of a positive test result. And that is a governor order, so we cannot take anybody that does not have that negative test result. So we will definitely work with you, maybe either find another time or a later check-in point, but we have to have that. That's a non-negotiable to allow any camper or staff into camp this summer.
And Drew, let me go back to say, because what I don't want to do, what we've been trying to do is find an easy way for you to get this testing. I would encourage you to go ahead and start looking anyway, besides what I have just offered you. Within the next 24 hours, we should solidify that, and we're going to communicate with you. But I would encourage you parents to think about if what I'm proposing for us to do does not work, what would you do? Okay. What other questions do we got?
There's been a lot of questions about the LIT t-shirts, just to be as transparent as possible. When we're in that flux of Ken said about 80 days, I'm wondering if we'll have camp or not. Now that we can have camp, that's great, but some of our vendors are unable to produce. So we would rather tell you we're not going to have t-shirts right now. And if we're able to get them, great. That's why the royal blue t-shirts are important for our uniform. We're working on that, but just to tell you exactly where we're at and trying to get those turned around quickly. So just being very honest with you on that one. Please bring a shirt, and our goal will be to try to get them, but in the case we can't, you'll have that for your uniform as well.
And we will have the ALA lanyards as the identifiers still.
Right. Temperatures will be taken for all campers and workers on a daily basis. Absolutely. That is part of our protocols this summer.
And let me go ahead and tell you that executive order we have studied, and parents, just so you know, we've crossed the T's and dotted the I's, trying to make sure we do everything in our power to keep your kids safe. So it was very clear, and I feel really good about what we have as far as the operation of camp and the executive order.
We will be eating in the dining hall, but it will be shift eating. So just know that we will be using the dining halls, but it will be shift eating to avoid all of camp in one place at the same time this year. So that was a question about the dining facility. I'm scrolling through the chat quick, so even if you see one, jump on it.
LIT, I saw one about backpacks. Bringing a backpack's a good idea to have that. I think that you would just want to have that.
There will be laundry for all campers, and since LITs are considered campers, there will be laundered just after the end of the first week that you're there. Sunday morning check-in at both locations is 9 a.m. and you should have an email about that as well. We'll still do night programs. We'll still have morning programs. Just again, it may be in shifts. It probably won't be everybody in one place at the same time. And yes, just to confirm, COVID test needs to be done 7 days before coming to camp, within 7 days of coming to camp. It can't even be 8 days per the governor's orders right now. And if those relax some during the summer, we'll let everybody know. But right now, it needs to be within 7 days of coming to camp. That is an executive order.
A couple questions. There was a question about when will we wear masks. The plan is opening day and closing day, as well as when serving food to campers. There's a question about what we'll do between the week sessions. So that's Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon to Sunday morning. Honestly, that's a kind of a time that's a little bit restful. So you should have the chance to kind of catch up a little bit, get settled into the new cabin that you're going to be in, as well as with the carryover program. There's campers that will be there as well. Please do not bring food or snacks of your own. Obviously, we are trying to keep the sharing and everything down to a minimum. We will have the camp store open where the LITs will have accounts if you need to get anything outside of the additional meal times. We will be using all disposable products in the dining hall this year, as well as individual serve items. Between the week sessions, they'll be working with the campers that are staying over, and all the staff will be there as well. Sorry, there's a lot of questions. We're trying to get through as many as possible.
Let me add one in there, Drew. So there was a question about symptoms. So you have a COVID-19 negative test coming in, and if anybody has symptoms per the executive order, we immediately isolate them, which we have isolation places at Lake Burton and Lake Allatoona, and then they are removed from camp. Just to answer that question.
There will not be any weekend out of camp trips. That's another strict order of Governor Kemp, is that once we're there, we want to be in there. And so we're going to avoid going out into the public as much as possible with our specific programs. There will be LIT nights in camp that will be programmed in camp. So instead of going to your local communities for dinner out, we will be doing something special for you in camp on those Monday nights.
Ethan, did we address the whitewater rafting?
Drew said that we're gonna have programmed nights in this summer on Monday nights for the LITs. There was a question as what will be the alternative to Adventure Day, and the week's Wednesday's gonna look like a normal day because we can't. It would be difficult to go to the adventure days like the water park where we're with a whole bunch of people from outside of camp. So that's just not going to work this year. So we'll be in camp and we'll still make it a fun day.
Yeah, well, every day at camp is Adventure Day.
So these are great questions, and sorry if we missed any. There's a lot popping up quickly, and I see that we even have Sonia and Rebecca answering as well. So thank you, Sonia and Rebecca, for answering on the chat and live time. We will have boats this summer, so boats will be at camp. See, is one of the last questions that was answered.
Oh, now let me address, did we address I've been reading, have we addressed the boat arrival and departure? So just to reinforce, sorry, Ethan, I was reading. So just to reinforce that, we're not having that. We need everybody to come by car.
Another question, we want everybody to make the best decision for yourselves this year. So if for some reason you're unable to do the LIT experience this year, you will not have to re-interview to reapply for LIT next year. So you will be able to reapply for LIT, but you won't have to go through the interview process again.
Somebody asked about the ventilation of the cabins, which is good. So we do have air conditioning, we do have the ventilation, and just so you know, we also have the ultraviolet lights that help kill anything, especially the virus. As it goes through the air conditioning system, we have a way to kill the virus. So we have good ventilation. Questions? This is what we wanted to do.
There's a question that I want to speak to just about evaluations. So the LIT program is a leadership program, but it also is a pool of people that we use to hire for CIT positions the following year. And I will say that there are fewer CIT positions than there are LIT positions. So LITs are evaluated on a weekly basis, and ultimately those evaluations are going to be used to help us fill the staff positions for the following summer. So when you get to camp, we're going to go over that, or your program directors are going to go over that evaluation with you, so you understand exactly what we're going to evaluate you on. But you'll get one of those each week here at camp by the staff of that particular cabin, so that you understand where you are and that you also understand how you can improve going into the next week.
A lot of questions about arriving in a royal blue shirt. Might as well. You'll have time to change, but you might in that way if you do get an LIT shirt. But yes, go ahead and arrive in a royal blue shirt. All the water activities will be available. It's a 2-week program. So yes, your 2-week evaluation will determine moving forward for counselor and training next summer. Refunds will be awarded to anybody that is positive or is unable to meet the deadline. Between sessions, camp will be cleaned by a professional cleaning crew. We are not shaking hands this year. That's one of the things we usually teach our young leaders, but this year we will not be shaking hands. Okay, I'm going through again. Sorry, there's a lot of them popping up, so we hope we were able to answer the majority of the questions here and as we approach the 6 o'clock timeline. Yes, life jackets as well as all program supplies will be cleaned between use. So whether your archery bows and arrows will be clean, paddle boards will be clean, life jackets will be clean. It's going to be camp clean this summer.
We had a question about if a LIT gets a headache, does not drink enough water, is hot, etc. That will happen. We have medical staff at both sites that will handle that and determine what the symptoms are.
I've seen a couple questions about bathing suits. So we asked girls to bring girls that are in our leadership programs and staff members to wear one-piece bathing suits at camp.
Yes, LIT's Prepare Devotions. It's great to have in your backpack, whether you're giving them to your peers or to the cabin you're working with. COVID test, as long as it's a negative test, it can be from any state. So if you're traveling the week before, or if you live in another state, we just need a negative test.
All right, Drew, we've hit that 6 o'clock. So here's the thing, we love spending time with you, love seeing your face and your names, and just unbelievable the amount of people, 255 people on the phone call. So number one, I'll go back to the way we started. I am so happy that we're going to operate. The word for the summer is discipline. It's going to take that from parent to staff to LIT to camper for us to be disciplined to run summer camp and have the best possible experience we can have. And we're going to have a great summer. And I'm looking forward to spending that time with you. And I want to do just a special shout out to you parents for being on the call, for taking care of your kids. And thank you for trusting us to take care of your most precious gift. And with that, I will just tell you, I hope you have a good rest of your evening. We're excited and look forward to seeing you at summer camp. Take care, everybody.
Good night.